The party is literally dying before our very eyes. Just 1 year removed from its release, Kendrick Lamar's Watch the Party Die feels less like a song and more like a prophecy fulfilled. Only the Boogeyman himself could drop a record on the anniversary of 9/11 and make it resonate this deeply. But what exactly is the party? Kendrick frames it as something much bigger than just nightlife. It's the industry itself. And when we break it down, the death of the party can be seen in 3 key areas: the decline of metrics over substance, the downfall of anti-intellectual music, and the collapse of compromised hip-hop media. For years, hip-hop culture was hijacked by the obsession with numbers. Drake and his fanbase became the poster child for this, treating streams and chart placements as if they were the only measure of greatness. But here's the truth. Kendrick has never been accused of label tricks or botting streams, while Drake has faced those whispers for over a decade. The irony is that Drake's ongoing lawsuit against Universal may end up exposing not Kendrick, but himself, and the whole fragile house of cards the industry built on with inflated numbers. If metrics can be botted, boosted, and manipulated, then what do they actually prove? Nothing. And fans are starting to realize it. In 2023, the same year Drake put out For All the Dogs and set a whole bunch of records, hip-hop hit a low point. No rap album or single reached #1 that year. Metrics have now unfortunately replaced meaning, and the art form then became hollow. Kendrick's victory wasn't just a lyrical one, it was a symbolic one, reminding us that streams don't equal substance. Anti-intellectualism has been rotting in hip-hop from the inside. For years, artists doubled down on minimal effort party records, hoping TikTok and playlists would do the heavy lifting. But the battle of 2024 shifted the climate. Kendrick reminded listeners of the value of lyricism, storytelling, and artistry. Now, artists who only bring surface-level club records are struggling to connect. The audience is demanding more. That doesn't mean we still can't have fun records or party music, but it just means music that is empty with no replay value won't cut it anymore. We're already seeing a renaissance in hip-hop. Doechii, Little Sims, Westside Gunn, Clips, JID, Tyler the Creator, all dropping projects where the effort is evident. The culture is swinging back to balance, where vibes and substance can coexist, and that wave leaves minimal effort rappers facing an uncomfortable new reality. To stay relevant, you actually have to try. And then there's hip-hop media, the so-called new gatekeepers. For too long, podcasters and commentators have been compromised, pushing propaganda for artists who pay them off. Instead of challenging the culture to grow, they watered it down with clickbait, toxicity, and endless obsession with numbers. DJ Academics embodies this the most. He calls himself a fan of Kendrick, yet when Kendrick dropped Watch the Party Die, Act simply said, "The party is still gonna be lit." That's the problem though. He didn't understand it. Because people like him, tied to Drake's lifestyle and metrics first mentality, couldn't see the shift happening in real time. But the tide is turning. As consumers grow tired of shallow coverage, new voices are rising. Channels like The Company Man, Thought Crimes, Absolutely, The Ville, Underground TV, all showing that you can respect the culture and still deliver meaningful commentary at the same time. The future of hip-hop media won't belong to the leeches. The mic will be taken from their hands and handed back to the people who actually care about the art. 1 year later, the biggest pushback to Watch the Party Die doesn't come from the culture itself. It comes from the people terrified of change. Scroll through comment sections on Twitter or Threads, and you'll see the same arguments recycled. If Kendrick was serious about substance, why did he work with Playboi Carti? Or, there's no shift happening, hip-hop is the same, nothing will change, numbers come first. But these takes completely miss the point. Kendrick collaborating with Carti doesn't invalidate the song, because Watch the Party Die was never about banning fun or shutting down every party record. It's about balance, about stripping away the dominance of empty metrics and empty content. By pretending otherwise, these fans aren't critiquing the song, they're twisting it in bad faith to protect their favorite narratives. And deep down, it sounds like fear. Fear that the culture is moving on. Fear that the numbers alone won't hold the same power, and fear that the music they prop up won't survive in a climate where substance matters again. Their constant insistence that nothing has changed only proves that they see the change coming, and they can't stop it. We're seeing it now not just in fan discourse, but in hip-hop media itself. Adam 22's fall off is a perfect example. Declining views, he lost his studio space, and fading influence. Vlad TV and similar platforms are struggling to stay relevant as people grow tired of sensationalism. These spaces built their brand on chaos and clickbait, but in this new era, the audience is turning away. Meanwhile, the artists and creators who respect the culture are continuing to thrive. The shift is undeniable, and those fighting hardest to deny it are only exposing how powerless they are to stop it. When Kendrick says,
"How many bitches harder than a lot of you niggas will trade all of y'all for nip? I can't be proud of you niggas."
the weight of his frustration cuts really deep. It's clearly not just grief. It's his disgust at how people who don't care about the culture hold power, while the ones who truly embodied it, like Nipsey, are gone. The anger in his voice makes it feel like if he had the Infinity Gauntlet, he would snap these toxic figures out of existence and bring back the ones who actually uplifted the culture. To Kendrick, it's a sick imbalance. The genuine voices in the culture are buried, while the industry's worst continue to thrive. When Kendrick rapped about burning the village down and rebuilding it, it wasn't just a line. It was a metaphor for what we're witnessing right now. By striking at the head of the snake, which is Drake, Kendrick now left the rest of that side exposed. The affiliates, the imitators, the artists who thrived under that system, whether it's Young Thug or others tied to that machine, are now showing their true colors. And without the spearheader at full power, they're left scrambling, powerless to stop what comes next. Because once the old guard is destabilized, a void opens. And in that void, the real artists, those who have always valued substance, step forward, along with a new generation inspired by this same very shift. The party is being torn down, but only so that the foundation can be rebuilt stronger. So here we are, 1 year later. The party death that Kendrick spoke of is unfolding in real time. Metrics don't move the culture anymore. Lazy, anti-intellectual music doesn't last. Compromised media is losing its grip. And now, even the defenders of the old ways are showing their fear, admitting through their denial that the change is real. The party isn't just dying, it's transforming. The music industry is being forced to reset, and Kendrick saw it before anyone else. Watch the Party Die wasn't just a song, it was a warning and a promise. The old ways are collapsing. What comes next depends on whether we, as listeners, demand better. Because if this last year has proven anything, it's this: the party may die, but the music will live. Watch the Party Die, man. It has aged so well. And I swear to you, like when the song came out, I already knew that the side that values instant gratification wouldn't be able to understand it. So from that day on till even now, they're going to still try to, put dirt on the song. But it just shows you that Kendrick really does come from a perspective of understanding how the world works and understanding that things will reveal themselves in due time. It requires a lot of patience and a lot of grounding to be able to accept that, but he very much has. And he knows that he could speak on something and it could be revealed 5 to 6 years from now, and he'll put it out in the song beforehand and he'll let you wait. He'll make you wait until then, and he won't say a word until you actually see the proof yourself. And that's what's happening with a lot of the things that he said about Drake last year and just in general of the culture. But Watch the Party Die in specific, he really laid out how things were going to go play within the hip-hop music scene. And now we're seeing it in shambles. Yes, the industry itself is all over the place right now. And yes, I know to some people it may seem like it's bleak right now, but at the same time, this is one of the best years we've had for hip-hop. And without looking at the metrics and the numbers that these people love to obsess over so much, we're seeing really good bodies of work that have been put out. We see that the artists are finally putting in effort again into their music. And there were obviously always artists that did do that. But now we're seeing that every musician, hip hop or whatever, doesn't really have a choice at this point going forward. You gotta actually put out a good body of work. It ain't gonna just be TikTok music anymore. It ain't just gonna be BS anymore. And again, this is not to say that we aren't getting club records or party music or things like that down the line, trap music, etc. We will get that. But even those artists are gonna have to figure out a new way to sell what they're trying to sell. And that is the issue with that side. They're very stuck in their old ways. And since this battle just happened a year ago, it's going to take some time for things to ease into how the new industry will be going forward. And so we'll have to wait and see, right? But as of right now, only a year later, so much has come true. We've seen Atlanta's music scene in shambles now. And it's not to say that they're cooked. They're definitely not cooked. They have a lot of artists there that can continue the wave. I think JID is definitely one of them. right? But in terms of Young Thug and the 21 Savage, the Lil Baby, that little junction of artists, the YSL side of it, that's in shambles. Trap music in general is just not doing the best as it once was, right? We got artists like Lil Durk and Ricos, a whole bunch of Ricos and criminal cases all over the country, right? So a lot of artists, specifically artists on the trap side and that side, are getting affected by that now, right? So the music just isn't hitting the same anymore. And a lot of it is because a lot of these artists are being locked up, or they're having just an issue with being inspired. And usually that's because most of these people, whatever type of music they're making in hip hop, for the newer artists, they just really care about making money. The world and the market is ridiculous right now, so we get it. Make your money how you make it. But at the same time, we need artists within the industry who actually appreciate hip hop and want to make the genre better, as opposed to just trying to make money from it. The money will come. That is a plus. But can you actually be a genuine artist within this space? Can you push the art form forward? That is the question. So these artists that are having an issue with trying to do that are the ones that are unfortunately probably going to fade out into irrelevancy, and we'll have new artists to come in and replace them and fill that void. So we'll have to see going forward how this all plays out. The Atlanta scene, they got to figure out the situation. Young Thug, obviously he has a leak a day. There's something new coming out every day. So now that's an issue. Drake, obviously he's going through it. He has the lawsuit. The Iceman album isn't sticking the same. And if Drake was able to drop Iceman and the Iceman album does amazing numbers and he's back on top somehow, which I don't think is going to happen, there might be hope for that side. But as of right now, it's looking pretty bleak. There are rumors allegedly that the album is going to be scrapped. We don't know if that's entirely true yet or not, but we do know the general consumer is not a fan of what he's been putting out. But the Drake fans, a lot of his fan base doesn't seem satisfied with it either. So it looks like it's going to be back to the drawing board. This is just proof to you that going forward after what Kendrick did, things are not going to be the same as they once were. It's not going to be that easy to just go number one and have all the number ones for 10 weeks and stuff like that. That's not going to happen going forward. And the party is 100% dying. You could argue that it's already dead, and we're in the rebuilding motion of it right now. And how this plays out going forward, I'm pretty sure Kendrick already knows, right? And he may put out another song down the line where he's able to predict the next steps of how things are going to be. But if not, Watch the Party Die was enough. It's a prophetic song. It's a ballad. And I really love how this song give me the 616 feeling, kind of that eerie feeling as well. But it also does kind of remind me of Stan by Eminem. The sonics of it kind of remind me of that a lot. So I do see some similarities between that too, Stan culture. If I were to connect the two right there, I would say that Watch the Party Die may also mean that stan culture in hip hop may have to come to an end too. And there's always going to be stans in hip hop, people who really love these artists. But the idea of it, I think the toxicity of it, we've seen it reach new heights we've never seen before. So I think that's something else that is going to have to shift. We're going to have to get back to a place where unhinged individuals aren't carrying the conversations anymore and having a say in the matter. So only time will tell, but Watch the Party Die, it's definitely an amazing record. It hits even more better as new things come out. And a year later, I'm still playing this song as much as I did last year. So you guys let me know what you think about Watch the Party Die. Did you enjoy this song? It's definitely one of my favorites of the beef, and I consider it to be the closing song. If Drake had continued with Kendrick, I think this song would have probably been the 6th or 7th song from Kendrick. But I think the entire messaging of the song is amazing, and it's something that we needed. As soon as you heard the title, you can already insinuate what he was talking about. So you guys let me know, what did you take from the song, and did you enjoy it? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more, and hit that bell for notifications, because YouTube sometimes does not like to notify y'all. And I appreciate you guys all tapping in and supporting. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Stay blessed and stay tuned.